state playoff week in Minnesota high school football. Tonight in Class 6A, a quarterfinal round matchup between the number 1 seed and number 1 team of the state, Maple Grove, and Lakeville South. From Eastview High School in Apple Valley, John Jacobson along with Jay Wilcox. And Jay, these two have a playoff tradition. They played in both 2021, 2022. First time for these kids to play against Lakeville South from Maple Grove I'm talking about, and Lakeville South for that matter. So some familiarity for the coaches, but not necessarily the players between the Cougars and the Crimson.
Yeah, when you have two of the better programs in the big school Class 6A, you're going to probably run into each other somewhere along the way. Obviously, they didn't play in the regular season or haven't been, but both have been able to go deep into the postseason several times of late, and Maple Grove looking to keep the train rolling here, but they know they have a formidable opponent tonight in the Cougars.
Cougars coming in at 8-2 on the season, coming off a shutout win over Mounds View, and Maple Grove 10-0 on the season. Big win last week, put up 55 points against Eastridge in their section final game. And like you said, rolling right now, 23 straight wins for the Crimson.
And they put up 50 or more points in 3 of their last 6 games. They've had some games this year where they didn't dominate in the first half, started a little bit slow and even trailed at halftime a few times, but boy, they have just been able to play consistent football and finish people off, even some of the best teams around, and they're hoping to try and do the same tonight against Lakeville South.
Lakeville South's had a very solid program the last several years under Ben Burke, 2021 state champions, unbeaten during that COVID year of 2020. And I love their offense. It's the power T old school formation. Not a lot of teams run it, but they run it well. And obviously to get to this point year after year in the state playoffs.
You know, I'm an Elk River guy, and that's one of the other prominent teams that's been running it and running it well, and it's led to success for both of their programs. It is interesting to watch. There's people that think that, they just run a lot, so it's not that interesting, but I don't know. I kind of feel the opposite. There's a lot of wrinkles. You'll see some big plays broken, and that's what Maple Grove's trying to limit tonight.
Let's look at our key players, starting with Lakeville South. Nick Swanson, one of 2 1,000-yard rushers for them. He's a senior.
Yeah, just under 1,100 yards for Nick, and he's been kind of their guy to finish drives, too. 16 touchdowns. And obviously for them, they like to move the chains, ball control, possess the ball, and put Maple Grove's defense back on their heels a little bit, and then ultimately finish drives is what they're looking for. But for them, getting 3-4 yards on first down is going to be a key.
Crimson head coach Adam Spurl said tackling for our guys on defense is going to be a key to stop that Lakeville South attack. One of the best tacklers they have is senior linebacker Bo Thien.
Yeah, he's had a great year, 84 tackles, also 4 interceptions, which may not necessarily come into play much against the Lakeville South team that rarely throws the ball, but they've got to really play assignment football. And I thought what Coach Spurl said was a great point that he made is we know they're occasionally going to get their 3, 4, 5 yards. It just can't turn into 80, and Bo is one of those guys that they're counting on to be a sure tackler.
No rain tonight like we had last Friday. That's certainly our coldest night of the year. Game time temperature around 40 degrees, a little bit of a breeze. So, I mean, it's football weather. It's November 7th, but I think it's good for the players. They don't have to worry about the elements as far as any precipitation.
Now, last night of outdoor football, enough of a breeze that it might make a slight difference, but overall, pretty good night for this time of year. I don't think you could ask for a whole lot better for these teams playing on this last outdoor night before US Bank Stadium awaits for the winner.
Should be a fun one tonight on CCX and NSPN TV. We'll be back with the kickoff. Lakeville South, Maple Grove 6A football next.
For 90 years, Connection has been at the heart of everything they do at Topline Financial Credit Union. Their team is passionate about connecting with you to help you reach your financial dreams. For some, they're here for your first, like your first checking account, first car, or first home. For others, they're here for those next steps, whether it's remodeling your home, saving for retirement, or starting a small business. Become a Topline member and let them be a part of your big moments. Visit toplinecu.com, because connected, we all do better. Federally insured with the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
We are ready for kickoff tonight. 6A football quarterfinals from Eastview High School, Lakeville South, and Maple Grove. Maple Grove won the toss. They are deferring. Lakeville South will receive. the opening kickoff tonight. And we are underway. Ball bounced, they picked up at the 12-yard line, returned out past the 20, bouncing off a tackler there and getting out to near the 30-yard line. Jeremiah Levy. So a return of about 15 yards. They should get knocked out at the 27. That's where South will take over first possession of the game. Big offensive line for Lakeville South as we look at the starters for the Lakeville South offense and the Maple Grove defense. Coach Adam Spurl telling us it's one of the biggest lines, maybe the biggest that they've faced all season. Again, the big running game, but Maple Grove getting it stopped on the first play from scrimmage, Jay. Will Raymond, Ryder Skansen in on the tackle.
Looking to get some good penetration and get some early stops if they can. I mean, obviously, who's able to possess the ball early in this game is going to matter. They would just as soon not give up any first downs to let the Cougars get themselves established.
Second down handoff, and Swanson breaks into the secondary and gets a first down. So only 1 yard on the first play, but he gets 10 here, and the first down of the game.
Well blocked on that play as well, and got a little opening. And there's a lot of different wrinkles. I mean, you're handing the ball off virtually every play to one of those three backs behind you, but there's a lot of things that you can do with it. And that time they got Maple Grove outmatched a little bit on the right side.
Gavin Stewart is the quarterback, hands it off and going sideline and getting it to Griffin Dean. Gets it out to the 40-yard line. He picks up 2. There's Stewart coming back from the sideline, gets the play and back to the huddle. Second down and 8.
Yeah, they count on the quarterback to be a weapon in this offense, mostly as a runner, obviously, too, and just able to get a little bit that time, but pretty good defensive play for Maple Grove.
Stewart under center, hands off. Swanson bouncing off would-be tackler, and he's out to midfield. Another good run for him. He had a couple plays ago, went for 10. Does it again here, and a first down for the Cougars. 2 of them on this drive there at the 50.
Bryce Guerin able to make contact, but he didn't wrap up here, or actually make that. That was Williams who wasn't able to bring him down there initially. Swanson, a good job of avoiding really getting squared up by the tackler.
Gavin Stewart, I think, wanted a hand off, but keeps it himself and goes forward about 3 yards to the 47.
To Stewart's credit there, he didn't panic. Once he realized that things were going awry in the backfield there, he just got upfield and got as much as he could. Yeah, they nearly ran into each other on that play.
Gavin Stewart gain of 2, 2nd and 8 from the Maple Grove 48.
Spacing and timing are so important in this power T offense. They run it over and over again, but if any little thing is off, it can make it difficult.
Crimson fans on our side making some noise. Second down and 8 run. The flag is down after the ball went to Levy. The first penalty and encroachment. 5-yard penalty on Maple Grove.
Eager to get off the ball and create some havoc in the backfield, and that time it was Bruce who got himself started a little bit earlier into that neutral zone.
So after the penalty, it makes it second down and a short 3. You look at Ben Burks, had a ton of success here at Lakeville South, trying to get to the state semifinals. And Raymond, good job of standing up. Levy, short of the first down, got a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
Maple Grove did a good job of holding the line of scrimmage. There wasn't really a hole there at all. And then able to get Levy to the ground without too much trouble as Raymond met him.
From the Maple Grove 42-yard line, 3rd down and 2 to go. handoff. Levy's got a first down. He's inside the 40, down to the 38. Make it Swanson on the carry, picks up 4. Been busy on this opening drive. Mentioned one of 2 1,000-yard rushers along with Griffin Dean on this Lakeville South team.
So far, so good on this first drive here for the Cougars. I mean, they've been forced into a couple conversions, but moving the chains, keeping possession. We're already going to be near the halfway point of the quarter here after another play or two.
Yeah, Lakeville South games don't tend to go too long, at least when they're on offense, right? Because it's run after run. Inside handoff, and inside the 35 to the 34-yard line goes Griffin Dean. Talked about him, the junior, over 1,000 yards on the season, 8 touchdowns. Had a good first down run here, Jay. Picks up 5.
Yeah, well blocked, and that's the thing you have to be ready for as well, is that fullback getting that early handoff. He's just going straight ahead and relying on good blocking from that big old line, and they got it on that one.
Second and 5. Stewart is going to keep it himself on a designed run inside the 30-yard line. He's going to be close to a first down, but a little bit shy. 3rd down and 1 coming. 4 yards on the carry for Stewart.
That's an interesting one where he's hiding the ball and basically just following the back that he faked the ball to. Sometimes you can run that out wide as well, but this time they keep it in tight in between the tackles and able to set themselves up for a very manageable 3rd down here again.
So you mentioned running down that clock. Oh, the ball is fumbled. Stewart, I think, got back on top of it. Now it depends on when he possessed the ball and where his knee was down. I think he's going to be lost a yard. And so
yeah, he's down as soon as he gets on this ball here.
Yeah.
So that little jump forward he did not count. As correctly ruled, it looked like that. As soon as he recovered it, he was down.
So now it's 4th down and closer to 2 yards to go, or a long 1 at the very least here. Big play here on this opening drive. Stewart will hand off. Swanson up the middle. He's got a first down and powers his way inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Tackle by Scanson. Pick up of 5 yards.
Boy, and when you're able to do that on a 4th and 2 and just stay with what you're doing, be comfortable running the ball straight at them. Swanson, we can see why he's had a heck of a year, as watch him keep his legs driving, and guys getting into it a little bit at the end there. It's a physical game in the trenches here tonight.
New set of downs from the 25. They'll give to Dean. Big hole up the middle. He's going to go to the touchdown. 25 yards and a score.
First time we've seen that. Again, I talked about little wrinkles, this time coming with a counter look. And Maple Grove definitely caught off guard a little bit by that. I don't know if Dean was even touched. Well blocked, well timed. It's another thing with that is you got to make sure that the timing is right on that if you're the Cougars, and it looked beautiful on their side.
So they take off over 6.5 minutes on the clock. Put 6, potentially 7 points on the board. Terrence Wheeler is the kicker. Left footer kick, it drills it right down the middle, and it's 7-0 Lakeville South after the opening drive. Look at the touchdown run again from Griffin Dean.
There you see it get real misdirection, everything flowing to the right side, then they hand off left. And it kind of feels like they saved that one for a key spot, doesn't it? I mean, they were running pretty much at them, and a lot of things just going straight forward that time. And again, I got to give credit there to the fact that obviously they practice with these things a lot. If Griffin Dean gets too eager and goes too early on that one, it might not work as well. He waited to let that flow of the play start going right behind the other backs. And then there was nothing but turf out there in front of him. And, yeah, like we said, Lakeville South. That's one thing that you can't overlook is that yes, it was a touchdown drive, but they're also chewing up enough time that sometimes when you're the opponent, you start to feel pressure that you're not going to get the ball very many times, and boy, we've really got to do something each time we get it.
Yeah, I'm sure they're anxious, right? They're standing over the sideline, you can't do anything, and all of a sudden 7 minutes are off the clock. The Wheeler, ball on the tee to kick this off. Great start for the Cougars. Drives it deep. Lundy will take it at the 4. Out to the 15. Lundy to the 20, and then brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Pretty good lane discipline that time for the Cougars there. It looked like for a moment that one might open up a little bit as Crimson had a left return set up, and Lundy was coming all the way across the field, and their blocking seemed to be set up, but the Cougars were able to get off and make a good stop there.
The starting offense for Maple Grove on your right, defense of Lakeville South on your left. As Jay mentioned in our pregame, this Maple Grove offense averaging over 40 points per game, over 50 3 times in the last 6 weeks.
Nobody has really shut them down for 4 quarters.
Right. Start from the 23 and off to James Engel. Gets to the 25. Not too many people have been able to stop that guy, but a good play on first down. Darian Graham on the tackle. Gain of 3 for Engel.
Sorry, John. Graham did a great job of really squaring him up and getting him wrapped up, too. You don't want somebody like Engel squirting off that tackle and getting free. We've seen a lot of big plays from him this year.
Harney's numbers passing the ball. He's also run for 10 touchdowns at a terrific senior season. Second down. This is Engel, and he gets in the open. He's dangerous and gets out to the 45-yard line. Pickup of 19. Averages over 8 yards a carry, Jay.
Yeah, they've got a great rushing attack. They can obviously throw the ball some, too. And Engel, boy, has he been a story for them this year, stepping in and just having an outstanding season. He's got wheels.
First down from Maple Grove. Thompson comes in motion from the 45. Play action. Harney rolls out. Short pass complete. Jeffrey Nordvold on the catch. A decent speed, gets down the sideline and picks up 17 yards down to the Lakeville South 38.
Boy, Thompson had a key block out there. It looked like they were going to be able to get to him and push him out of bounds, but it was really just 1 against 1 on this block. And watch Thompson right there. Just a stock block, square him up, and he was able to keep the defender Connolly from getting to him, and that gave him another probably 8 to 10 yards.
From the 38. Toss, Engel finds a little room on that sideline. Didn't look like there was going to be much there. Yeah, and he picks up 5, maybe 6 yards.
Looked like Caleb Williams kind of had him lined up for a stop after a short gain, but he showed his elusiveness there. Just good feet avoiding that tackle. I'm sure Williams coming back to the huddle thinking, God, it looks like I had him. It didn't work out like I thought.
3 rushes, 28 yards for Engel on this drive. 2nd and 4 for the Crimson. Again, their first time with the football. Harney, play action down the sideline, drops it into Thompson. Touchdown.
Oh, well thrown ball right there. We could see that one developing. Thompson had just a step. It was actually not too bad a coverage, but the throw had to be perfect, and it was. The only question for me was whether he was going to have enough room to still be in bounds there, and he was. He did a good job of running his route where he gave his quarterback a little bit of room where it didn't have to drift to the outside and be out of bounds. That showed a little bit of not only smarts by Thompson, but also some strength to battle through that corner a little bit.
Preston Berg is the kicker for Maple Grove. Snap down, kick is up and through. Each team with a touchdown on their opening drive, and it's 7-7.
They did it in different ways. Lakeville South, smaller chunks at a time, took a little bit longer. Maple Grove marching right down the field, mix of run and pass as they've been able to do. Wow, this is a great throw. Look at that. That coverage is really pretty good. Graham just didn't get his hand in there. He's actually in pretty good position here. Just couldn't quite get his hand up. And then good job of officiating there. He's watching his partner to see is he still in bounds, and when the answer is yes, the ball was definitely caught. So excellent answer if you're Maple Grove right there. The weight on the sideline didn't seem to bother them offensively. And when we talked to Coach Brill before the game, he said, yeah, I'm confident we can move the ball. And you know, they're going to need to tonight, and so far so good on that end.
For Harney, his 16th touchdown pass of the season. Thompson, his 3rd touchdown catch, just his 8th catch of the season. Ball is dropped. Well, be picking it back up, trying to get back to the 20, and that's all he gets. So a short return. Maple Grove covers it well. Braden Dozier on the stop. Chase Weber also there. And, again, inside their 30 to start this drive, closer to their 20 on the second drive of the game for Lakeville South.
See what adjustments are made here. I guess offensively you probably don't really need to make too much of an adjustment. Maple Grove defensively, though, I'm sure would like to do things a little bit different. And again, limiting the big play, which the touchdown turned out to be.
And off Swanson. And not too much here. Only gets about, oh no, he's still going. I didn't think he had much, and look at him going. He gets out past the 25. He's a strong kid and moves forward and ends up getting 5 yards after it looked like he'd get 1.
Yeah, he had his back to the defense by the time it was done, but he just kept going. They didn't have his legs at all. They had him kind of stacked up a little bit up high. But you see getting some help from his O-lineman too, and I don't think they gave him all the way out as far as he got, but it was a great effort.
He'll get the ball again, spins inside and gets a first down out to the 32-yard line.
Swanson's got a good combination of toughness, but good feet as well. We're seeing that early on. He's had some good gainers already.
So 2 plays and a first down for Lakeville South on their second drive. Going back to that first down run, I think it was Asher Collins, the lineman, that is helping him push him downfield. And he's not small, Jay. He's 6 foot 280 or 6'1". First and 10 from the 32. And another good run by Swanson, where he's finally brought down on the play by Braden Dozier. Good chunk run on first down, picks up 5.
Well, and I talked about that earlier, where you say, again, you're turning and you're handing off to one of a couple of guys every play, but there's still differences in the way those are run and the way they're blocked. And I like the variety that the Cougars have been able to put together so far. You're not seeing the same thing every time. It's run out of the same formation, yes, but different play calls.
2nd and 5. Swanson again. And this time Maple Grove able to stop him for a very short game. Luke Smith coming up to make the stop.
Now the pulling guard wasn't able to quite clear everybody out there, and Smith did a good job getting him to the ground.
At about a yard, it's 3rd and 4 here for the Cougars. Stewart backs out and back under center. Comes up and hands off outside the 42. Looks like they got a first down to the 43. Gain of 5 on the run, and it's Dean on the carry. The touchdown run on the last drive picks up 5 here.
You know, for a lot of teams, you might say 3rd and, a long 3, short 4 is too far to run that type of play, but they're confident in their O-line and able to get it done.
You haven't thrown a pass in 2 weeks, Jay. A week plus. Oh, Stewart runs into his own guy in the backfield, goes forward. Saw that happen earlier, but again, able to get positive yardage and picks up 5 yards.
Yeah, like I talked about the first time, that he didn't waste any time being worried about the collision or the little bit of missed timing there. Stewart just turned and went to get after it.
Maple Grove will take a timeout here, 48 seconds to go, and I think they're probably like, we can be better than this. We got to get off the block and get those tackles, because we're not doing it right now.
Yeah, and you know, looking to get their guys fired up a little bit, but I also think probably doing some reminding about what did we watch in film this week, what are what kind of things are we looking for, and sometimes let's face it, you get excited and trying to make a play, and you maybe vary away from your defensive plan. And that's when you can get hurt by an offense like this. If you get guys who are a little too excited, too eager, overrun things, get too jacked up to make a play. And that's where I think teams, facing Lakeville South have that dilemma is you almost know they're going to run. So in some ways you're eager to sell out and stop the run so much, but you can't overrun things. You can't let them, sneak out the back door and things like that, quarterback run. And that's what Maple Grove's got to be conscious of right here. Again, they want to keep it to short gains and not let them pop a long one again.
On 2nd and 5, and then they jump offside. So a little too anxious here for Maple Grove's unless they get no, it is offside.
Both teams pointing at each other, but I think it was Guerin that went first.
Which is not surprising. You see that every time, right? And it is enough for a first down. They needed 5 exactly, and that's what they got. First down for Lakeville South from the 47 of Maple Grove.
They've done a good job so far, too, of limiting big mistakes. Even when they had, the little collision in the backfield, they're still able to get 2-3 yards out of it.
Oh, my goodness. They almost jumped again, but here and stayed onside. First down, handoff to Swanson, finds a little crease inside the 40, breaks a tackle down to the 35-yard line. There's a flag not on the backfield, it's just coming back.
Might get a hold here, yeah.
The first penalty tonight against Lakeville South. So that's a situation, of course, that this offense doesn't want to get into. You don't want to get into a 1st and 20, a 2nd or 3rd and long.
It's the right guard pulling right there. Kelvey getting out on the edge and got his arm hooked around the edge defender there. I don't know that he really needed to. He had a good initial hit, and if he had just kind of kept that arm down, inside a little bit better, I don't think he needed to do that. And yeah, you're right. For this kind of offense, a holding penalty is a killer.
On 1st down and 20, Swanson will get that penalty yardage back, though, and a couple more. He picks up a dozen yards there on 1st and 20, set up a 2nd and 8 on what should be the final play of this first quarter.
Well, that certainly helps their cause in terms of overcoming that penalty when you can pick up a nice chunk like that on 1st down, and they are going to watch the clock tick to 0 on a very offensive and very entertaining first quarter.
Our score after 1, Lakeville South 7, Maple Grove 7. More 6A football on CCX and NSPN after this.
For 90 years, Connection has been at the heart of everything they do at Topline Financial Credit Union. Their team is passionate about connecting with you to help you reach your financial dreams. For some, they're here for your first, like your first checking account, first car, or first home. For others, they're here for those next steps, whether it's remodeling your home, saving for retirement, or starting a small business. Become a Topline member and let them be a part of your big moments. Visit toplinecu.com because connected, we all do better. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
John Jacobson and Jay Wilcox. We are back at Eastview High School, start of the second quarter. A 2nd down and 8 for Lakeville South at the Maple Grove 45-yard line. We're tied up at 7. And Stewart will keep on this play, breaking some tackles in the backfield. He's lucky that didn't go for a loss. Let's get a couple of yards forward before he's brought down. It'll be 3rd down and probably the longest 3rd down play they've had so far tonight. It'll be 3rd and 6 to go for the Cougars.
Wow, I don't know how Stewart got out of that. I thought for sure he was going to be dropped for a loss there, but able to get around to the edge and, like you said, get upfield and pick up some positive yardage there. It sure looked like he was going to be dropped behind the line.
Jay, that first quarter, Lakeville South ran 19 plays from scrimmage. So as we mentioned, taking up a lot of clock. And on the move again, Swanson on the 3rd down run will get forward to the 38-yard, 39-yard. They'd be short of the first down by about a yard and a half, maybe 2 yards to go.
But he got enough that you put yourself in a position to not only go for it, but to run your normal stuff here, right, and feel like you have a decent chance to get it.
Already 11 carries on the evening here for Nick Swanson. 4th and 2 for the Cougars from the 39 of Maple Grove. And Maple Grove's going to jump offside for the 2nd time here in the game. And it's a first down by penalty again.
Well, there's an underrated skill for a quarterback, his use of cadence to be able to get this. And 2nd time he's drawn somebody off, and Stewart right away pointing. One way to kind of calm a defense that really wanting to be aggressive and come up and push the line of scrimmage back.
Maple Grove using a couple of guys that are normally just offensive linemen on defensive line. You saw Peruz earlier, and Porter Emerson there was the one that jumped. And he's back to the sideline here on 1st down and 10. Hand off, and it's Dean inside the 30. He'll go down to the 29-yard line. And a first down run of 6, maybe 7 yards.
Back to that counter that time and able to pick it up solid. I mean, Maple Grove that time did a better job of containing it, but still, that's a good game.
Closer to 6 on that run, so 2nd down and 4, we'll say. Stewart handing off. Swanson, a little stutter step, and he'll get a couple yards, but definitely short of the first down by 2 yards. Raymond on the tackle. A very active week last week at linebacker for Maple Grove. And comes up with the stop here. Only a yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Yeah, one of the few times that they've been able to get Swanson before he's able to get going at all there, and a good, sure tackle by Raymond.
And off, and it's going to be close to a first down. Looks like where they mark it, the forward progress for Dean will be a first down. Down to the 23-yard line, and does pick up a first down.
Boy, they've shown a knack of getting just enough here, too. How many, besides all the first downs they're getting, how many of them have been by, half a yard or something? It's like their backs have a pretty good sense of what the line to gain is and able to get there.
From the 23, Skansen shows pressure, backs off. Coming back forward. And a big run up the middle. It's Dean still going and all the way down to the 6-yard line. Pickup of 17 yards, almost at his 2nd score of the night.
Boy, that quick trap there, you get Maple Grove. You could see they were coming aggressively and more or less kind of overrun this when you're able to pop the fullback through. Ooh, well blocked as well. And he did a good job keeping his legs driving there as he was met by Elmquist, but just kept going.
You have an Elmquist, T.J. Williams on the tackle. 1st and goal for the Cougars. Quickly up to the line of scrimmage from the 6. Handoff. Dean into the end zone for his 2nd score tonight.
Great block on the edge, too, there.
Lakeville South back in front.
Well, both offenses so far looking pretty solid, but the difference is the Cougars at this point have had the ball one more time.
Right.
And able to punch that one in. Another well-done drive by Lakeville South.
Yeah, another time chewing drive, right? Spanning the first quarter into the second. Wheeler on for his second extra point try. Down kick is up and it's good, and it's 14-7 with 8:03 to play in the second quarter.
Well, all the plans and all the practices to try and stop this power T so far not working out so well if you're Maple Grove, and you see their big hole opened up. Good work up front by a few of the different guys there. Hamer getting a good block, and some others for Lakeville South, and again able to seal the edge of that Crimson defense as well. And Dean able to punch that one in for his second score, and so far so good. Lakeville South, you can't ask for much better than what they've done so far with the ball. And I talked about it earlier, I mean, yeah, you like to break big plays, but sometimes it's almost even more effective when you can have some plays that take just chunks at a time and move the chains and use some clock as well.
Both their drives have been around 7 minutes or so in length. Although Maple Grove scored on their first one, that's again limits the number of possessions you have if you're the team that's in this game trailing.
A different style of offense, but kind of similar to the philosophy Eden Prairie has had all these years, where they run the ball at you and don't make mistakes and keep the ball a long time and put pressure on the other team.
Wheeler on the kick, handed on, fielded at the 10, and Thompson gets outside, breaks a tackle at the 30, and out to the 35. He'll be stacked up there and fall forward to at the 36-yard line. Thompson, who had the touchdown catch, gets Maple Grove in good field position just the second time with the ball again, and we're under 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. And spotted at the 35.
Maple Grove did several things well on that first drive, kind of marched right through the Cougars too, so see if both offenses continue to shine.
Engel trying to pop outside and wrapped up after a gain of 1 out to the 36-yard line. Maple Grove just 5 plays on that first series, but got it into the end zone in a hurry. Second out of 9 here. .7:20 and counting to go in the second quarter. And he steps back. Engel again, the lone back, as he often is, gets the carry, trying to pop it outside, comes back, and gets out to the 40-yard line. Not a lot on there, Jay, but again, he's a kind of a shifty guy, and he turns nothing or a 1-yard gain into about 3 or maybe 4 there.
Yeah, there were a couple of guys that thought they had him lined up and able to get him. But the good thing, though, if you're Lakeville South, is you had a lot of guys pursuing to the ball. Yeah. So even though 2 people basically missed tackles, they still held him to a relatively short gain.
They're down and 4 to go here for Maple Grove. Harney, play action, will step up. He can run, but he's not going to run very far this time. He's dropped for a loss. Miles Krinke with the tackle for loss. Maple Grove will have to punt.
Krinke did a good job of keeping his eyes on Harney here so that he was able to just follow him forward there, and then did a good job of wrapping up. I mean, Harney, I think, was on the route to making the right decision there by stepping up, but Krinke did a good job not overrunning it and just staying with him and bringing him down.
First punt of the game, kicked away here by Henry Knudsen. Makes a Lakeville South bounce and a little bit of a Maple Grove roll at the end. It'll be down inside the 29-yard line. Harney did get back to the line of scrimmage on that one, but good defense again by Krinke and Lakeville South to make the stop and force the punt. And now Maple Grove, we need a stop on defense, it feels like, right? I mean, it's still early in the game, but they haven't been able to do much to slow down the Cougars yet.
We mentioned that Coach Sperl's team has not been a stranger to falling behind in some of these games,
right.
which, you look at the final score of, the Edina game, St. Michael game, you don't realize that they were behind for a while, and Eden Prairie as well. But you don't want to make a habit of having to come back. Obviously, the farther and farther you go in the playoffs, you're facing some really good teams.
Gavin Stewart handing off on first down outside the 30, out to the 33-yard line. It'll be a 4-yard gain for Dean. It'll be second down and 6 to go for the Cougars.
Yeah, Maple Grove, like you said, it feels like they need a stop, but at the same time, you don't want to overcommit and get out of your lane and start trying too hard to make a play in the backfield either.
On second down, hand off up the middle, and a gain out past the 40. It's Dean again. It's so great how they carry out their fakes, right? Dean had the ball right away, but you had two other guys running as if they had the ball out to the left, including quarterback Stewart, and holds up enough of the defensive guys where they can't pursue the ball, and Dean gets the first down.
Yeah, you just want to put that little hesitation. I mean, it's almost like you don't need a block as much if they're not sure who's got the football.
The 13th first down for Lakeville South here in the first half. And we're under 4.5 minutes to play in the half. From the 43, handoff Swanson. Oh no, keeping it rather is the quarterback Stewart. I got fooled on that one, and Stewart gets the first down. Great run by Kevin Stewart. Gets outside, picks up 11.
Tucking that ball on his outside hip there to try and keep it disguised from the defense a little bit.
Yeah. Finally knocked out of bounds by Elmquist. Williams coming over late. First down and 10. Lakeville South now into Maple Grove territory at the 46. Inside handoff, and there's Dean. He's got a first down. He'll pick up a dozen more.
Boy, the interior of that O-line for the Cougars doing a great job getting angles on guys and just creating that little crease. Sometimes that's hard to do on such a quick hitter like that, to be able to create an opening, but they're able to do it. And again, good precision in terms of timing on those as well.
First and 10 from the 35 of Maple Grove. Handoff Swanson. Even on plays that don't look like they're going to get much change, there's 4 yards right there to the 31.
Yeah, and that goes back to that O-line getting some push. They're coming off the ball hard. They're driving back and generally been winning the line of scrimmage.
And we're down to 3:15 to go in the half.
Yeah, and this isn't like an underdog trying to control the clock because they feel that's what they have to do to win. This is the way they play every week.
Playing great tonight. Second and 6. Stewart back, looking at the sideline, then back under center. Gives to Swanson, and fights off one tackle, but only gets about 2 yards here to the 29.
He ran into Kelvey there, his own guy. That's what really slowed him up there, and now his helmet came off as well. As there was a little bit of a crease there, but Kelvey was looking for somebody to engage with, and Swanson, and he collided.
Helmet comes off. You got to come off the field for a play. Look at it again.
They look well blocked again, and you'll see right here. Helmet to helmet, they ran into each other, and that was the biggest contact on that play. And Maple Grove guy says, "Hey, look, I got his helmet." And it was Smith.
Third down and 4. Trying to draw Maple Grove quickly offside. They've done a couple times. Hand off. Trying to bounce outside and breaking a tackle. It's a first down. This is Levy. And he hasn't had many carries tonight, but a big one there. They had a shot at him in the backfield, Jay, and he breaks through and gets the first down.
It was really one of the first times where somebody has just bounced a play outside that wasn't meant to go there. And Lebby, I think, is hobbling a little bit. I noticed on the kickoff return that he looked like he was, and it looked like it there too, but he had enough to get out to the edge and get that first down. And then you could see that he went out, went outside and went out of bounds on his own there.
It's his team down to the 21 of Maple Grove. And off. And it's Dean for a touchdown again. Right up the middle. And basically, like the first TD, didn't seem like he was touched. He goes for 21 yards and a score.
Once again, they were able to draw the eyes elsewhere. And before anybody really realized Dean had the ball, he was pretty much through and into the secondary and all the way in for the touchdown. And you fall behind 14-7, but 21-7.
Yeah.
Maple Grove is going to have their work cut out here a little bit for sure.
Stewart, the holder for the kicker Wheeler. Down, kick is up and through. And it's 21-7 with 2:10 to play in the first half.
Another look. Oh, great kick out block there. Boy, they've just done a great job of getting angles to create that initial contact, and that was one heck of a block by Kelvey. And Dean able to pop that one through there. It's got to be a great feeling when you're a fullback and you realize that nobody, or very few, know that you have the ball, and all of a sudden you're into the secondary. And that's the thing too, where you're able to finish drives with plays like that. There are a lot of small chunk plays, but then turning that into a touchdown from out there is certainly demoralizing for Maple Grove, I think. Then more so than if they'd just been able to sneak one in from a yard out or whatever.
There's just one penalty so far in the first half for Lakeville South too. That set it back to 1st and 20, but they quickly recovered from that. And eventually ended that drive with a touchdown. So you get 5-6 plus yards on first down, no commits penalties, you get a winning formula. That's what they've had so far tonight. Late in the first half, 2-score lead now for the Cougars. Thompson, another kick return. He's out to the 40 and gets down to the 41. Ball comes out at the end. I think he was already down. Nick Leland on the tackle. Thompson on the return. It'll be first down and 10 for Maple Grove, square at their 40-yard line, and offense that can strike quickly and plenty of time to head downfield, and still 2 timeouts remaining as well.
Fortunate for the Cougars that Leland got him, because there was some more room to go if he'd been able to get past that next tackler. They didn't cover that one especially well, and it took a real good bounce up to Thompson too.
From the 40, here's Engel. It's forward 3, maybe 4 yards. Bring up second down and 6 for the Crimson inside of 2 minutes to play here in the half.
Cougars have been pretty physical up front.
2nd and 6, 1:45 and running to go. Pitch to Engel. Goal went back to Thompson. Looked like he wanted to throw it, nothing there, and runs out of bounds at the 47-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 3.
Well, you had your gadget play ready to go, and Engel decided not to throw it.
Good coverage downfield by Lakeville South, at least in Engel's estimation. Didn't feel like he had a play there, and decides to tuck it and get something. Did stop the clock with 1:34 to go. 3rd and 3 here for Maple Grove. It's Nordvold, the fullback, and he's a good hard runner and picks up 4. There's 1 pass reception tonight. That's his first carry from scrimmage, and first down and 10. Maple Grove from the 49 of Lakeville South. They'll get right back up to the line. 1:25 to go. Again, still the 2 timeouts left. Harney now from the shotgun. Quick throw, completion. And it's Henry Knutson on the catch. He's out of bounds at the Lakeville South 37. pickup of a dozen yards.
Well done by Maple Grove there. Take the good short, safe throw, ran the defender back off a little bit to give him a little space to put that one in there and then get quickly out of bounds. They look like they're no stranger to being able to move the ball quickly upfield in the 2-minute drill here.
Still have both timeouts left with 1:15 to go, and now at the Lakeville South 37. Thompson comes in motion. Harney wants to throw. Going to throw back to his left. Ellington is open. He's down to the 30-yard line, to the 25, and down to the 21-yard line. Karis Ellingson, the tight end, the leading receiver. Again, they don't throw a ton either, certainly more than Lakeville South. They don't have a lot of guys with a lot of catches, but Karis is their leading receiver this year as far as receptions.
Nice job where he looks like he's going to be a blocker and then just kind of leaks out. Now the Cougars that was one of the few where they didn't tackle very well initially on that one, and then got it finished later on.
Ellington picks up 16 yards. And now 1st down and 10. They took a timeout there. Ball at the 21. Still 1:05 to go.
Yeah, and again, like I talked about, I mean, 21-14 going into half would look a whole lot better than 21-7. And obviously they got a little ways to go yet. They're at the 21, but they would feel much better about things, I think, if they can come in and cut it to a one-score game here heading into the half. And again, they have moved the ball very well offensively. They had one drive where they had a punt, but the first and third drives here have been excellent.
Harney so far 4 of 4 passing plus a touchdown for 77 yards, so very efficient. Harney will keep it. He can run it, and he does run this one. 7 yards down to the 14-yard line. Mentioned early 10 rushing touchdowns on the season for Harney, in addition to the 15, now 16 touchdown passes. They'll keep that last time out. Still 45 seconds to go, but enough time inside the 15 on 2nd down. Short, Harney wanting to throw. Can run it. He'll throw it instead and gets the completion. It'll be 1st and goal for Maple Grove. Thompson on the reception.
Well, I was just about convinced Harney was going to run that one. He had to be pretty near the line of scrimmage, but he saw that there was still enough space to get it to Thompson for a gainer there.
Picks up 8. 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. It's out of bounds. Stop the clock with 37 seconds to go.
The nice thing about having a veteran quarterback there, he didn't panic in this whole drive. He didn't panic on that play.
First and goal from the 6. Toss to Engel. Cuts it back inside. He's in for a touchdown. Set the single-season record this year for rushing touchdowns, heralded by Derek Jamerson. That's his 26th rushing score of the year.
Outstanding drive there for Maple Grove. Variety of things went well for them. It's, again, having that veteran quarterback like Harney certainly helps to get that drive going, and they went with the toss and blocked it well enough, and Engel then closed strong there for that last yard or two. He had to fight through a tackler and was able to do it.
Berg for the extra point. A little bit of a high snap, and it's blocked.
Yeah, they had to reach for that. And that maybe threw off the timing just enough to allow the rush to get in there and get a piece of that one. So we stay at 8-point game instead of 7. Another look at that, the toss out to Engel. And he was able to cut it up at just the right moment there and carry a tackler in a little bit. He juggled the ball just a touch when he got it there, but enough to get to the end zone. And then you'll see the snaps a little bit high there and really had to reach for it. And then getting the block, I believe there was Kalamu?
Yep. Galimo, yeah.
Galimo, I'm sorry.
Let's see if that 1 point becomes crucial later in this game. There's Engel. You see the numbers I mentioned. 26 rushing touchdowns on the season.
Home will kick off for Maple Grove.
The Lakeville South has all 3 of their timeouts remaining, but as we mentioned often, it's not an offense that runs up the field in a hurry, so a long drive in the last 25 seconds, maybe not nothing. They will get this return out to the 27.6 seconds left on the clock. Maple Grove will receive the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, we should be able to tell by after the first play what Lakeville South, maybe if they pop this one for a 15 or 20, they might get aggressive, but otherwise I wouldn't expect so here with the holding the lead.
Line of scrimmage, the 23-yard line of Lakeville South. They will hand off inside. Oh, Dean almost broke a long one there. Does pick up a first down. Both Thien on the tackle.
Looks like he's short of the first down. Thien stopped him after about 8 or 9 there.
The clock continuing to go with 12 seconds. All sorts of movement here. And it's going to be a false start on Lakeville South.
Really the first we've seen of that from them. Couple different guys went early there.
So
everybody by the center. Second down. The game clock will start on my whistle.
Yeah, so really not much time for anything for Lakeville South here. 9.7 and now running again. And they may not even snap the ball here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would even. Well, they are going to.
And it's Dean. He gets out past the 30, the 31. Picks up 5, and that'll be the end of the first half. So Lakeville South, very good team, but certainly the underdog tonight against a team that's won 23 straight, and the Cougars will take a 21-13 lead over number 1 Maple Grove into halftime. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Here's some highlights and stats. You're watching Class 6A quarterfinal round football at CCX and NSPN TV.
For 90 years, Connection has been at the heart of everything they do at Topline Financial Credit Union. Their team is passionate about connecting with you to help you reach your financial dreams. For some, they're here for your first, like your first checking account, first car, or first home. For others, they're here for those next steps, whether it's remodeling your home, saving for retirement, or starting a small business. Become a Topline member and let them be a part of your big moments. Visit toplinecu.com because connected, we all do better. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
With Jay Wilcox, I'm John Jacobson. Welcome back to Eastview High School State Class 6A quarterfinal last week. Outdoor football in Minnesota. Lakeville South leading Maple Grove 21-13 at halftime. Let's look at highlights from the first half. And stop was here. Maple Grove stopped on a third down play, and a nice tackle there by Miles Krinke of Caden Hardy. And Lakeville South right back to work, running the football on offense. Gavin Stewart, a good run there. His biggest carry tonight, that one for 11 yards. And then again, it's Dean up the middle. This one goes for 21 yards and a score. 130 yards rushing for him on 14 carries. Harney comes back for Maple Grove. Good throw to the sideline to get a first and goal to Josh Thompson. And the toss to Engel. Gets in for his 26th rushing score of the season to make it 21-13. And then the extra point attempt followed the Engel touchdown blocked by Lakeville South. And so Maple Grove trailing Lakeville South by 8 instead of 7 at halftime. As you look at the numbers, 230 yards rushing for Lakeville South. Jay, they ran 36 plays from scrimmage in that first half.
Yeah, they pretty much did things the way they wanted to in that first half. And again, a variety of plays we saw, quite a bit early on, handing the ball off to
Swanson got a lot of
Swanson early, and then we saw more of Dean going with the fullback, and obviously we mixed in a little bit of quarterback run too there with Stewart. So doing a lot of things that you got to give a ton of credit, as I said, to their O-line. And for Maple Grove, I think they've got to be a little bit concerned about how they've been knocked back off the ball, and they've also had a few lapses where their secondary didn't recognize that the fullback had the football, which obviously is a main concern against this offense too. But I think the fact that they're getting knocked around a little bit more than they probably are used to is another concern.
143 yards total offense for Maple Grove. And the Crimson will have the ball to start the second half. Halftime again, 21-13, Lakeville South leads Maple Grove. More football after this. Thank you to our supporting sponsor, Scott's Lawn Care, serving homes and businesses of their neighbors in the Twin Cities West Metro area. Scott's Lawn Care team offers services ranking from weekly maintenance to complete redesign. Also, Scott's Lawn Care offers snow plowing services for the smallest residential lots to large commercial projects as well. Thank you, Scott's Lawn Care, for being a supporting sponsor of CCX Media. Lakeville South up on Maple Grove 21-13, 6A quarterfinals from Eastview High School in Apple Valley. John Jacobson and Jay Wilcox with you tonight. Special thanks to the Maple Grove Football Boosters for paying the new fee imposed by the Minnesota State High School League for us to do these games for you in all sports. And so we thank their support in being able to supply that tonight. All right, well, Maple Grove gets the ball first, Jay. And probably no panic, but you got to be a little concerned when you go up 230 yards of offense in that first half. They have been, as we mentioned earlier, trailed, despite being 10-0, have trailed 4 of those games at halftime and have come out and been very strong in the second half. Eden Prairie, St. Michael Albertville, Minnetonka, Edina, they all trailed at halftime.
Yeah, they've been through it before, and I do feel like getting that touchdown to end the first half was pretty big for them instead of being down 21-7, even though the extra point ended up getting blocked. So, but you don't want to rely on that too, having to come back. I mean, obviously their defense is going to have to make some adjustments. They have not really slowed Lakeville South much at all.
Underway here in the second half. Kickoff fielded at the 7-yard line. This is Lundy. He's out past the 25, gets down to the 27-yard line before he's tackled there. Matt Hapley on the stop for the Cougars. First down and 10 from their 27 for Maple Grove on the opening drive of the second half.
And it's a team game, obviously, but for Maple Grove's offense, pretty good first half. They didn't have a lot of possessions. They had to punt once, but I don't think they have a ton of concerns in terms of the way things went offensively in the first half.
Caden Harney comes back out, 5 of 5 passing in that first half, 1 touchdown, 85 yards through the air. Engel, 8 carries, 47 yards, and a touchdown late there in the half. Harney coming out, throwing on first down, and keeps it to the outside shoulder of Lundy, who makes the catch. Not bad coverage necessarily by Max Zagorski, but a good throw by Harney, and Jack Lundy able to make the catch.
Good timing on this one because it actually was well covered defensively. Just able to get it out there before Zagorski couldn't get his hand on it. But to his credit, he still was in position to tackle him and not just run by and overcommit on the ball.
2nd and 1. Harney will roll out. Wanting to throw again, wide open is Lundy. Oh, and he can't hang on to it. That was a first down deep in Lakeville South territory, and Lundy unable to come up with the football.
First real bust in coverage we've seen tonight. He was wide open here. A little bootleg action. And this one would have been a huge gainer, but not able to squeeze it. And he had a second opportunity and was falling backward and just couldn't bring it in. They would like to have that one to do again.
No. 3rd down and 1. Toss to Engel. Got a first down, 40-yard line, 45. Engel down the sideline, gets out of bounds inside Lakeville South territory, down to the 47-yard line, and a pickup 17 yards.
Engel doing a nice job of eluding the tackler out on the edge here. As it looked like this was pretty well played defensively, but he just outran the tackler a little bit. Got enough of a block to give him space to get there.
From the 47 of Lakeville South, new set of downs for the Crimson. Harney wanting to throw, now will step up. We're going to run it to the left side. Runs the linebacker, lowers his shoulder. Ball pops out, but then recovered by Nordvold, I think. Ellingson got the football. He just happened to be in the right spot, Jay. Otherwise, that's going the other way to Lakeville South.
Yeah, it popped right over to him, almost like it was a lateral, but it definitely was not. Harney showing good speed to get to the edge, but then you got to make sure you're protecting the ball. And tried to run a tackler over, and that ended up popping the ball out as Mayer got his shoulder in on the ball. Watch it pop right up in the air, but Ellingson was ready.
A big play by Karis Ellingson. First down run gets inside the 35-yard line to the 33. Engel on the carry again.
Sometimes you need little breaks like that too, if to keep advancing the ball and win a game. And obviously you're not hoping to fumble that play, but Ellingson being alert gives them another opportunity.
Pitch to Engel. 30, cuts it back up to the 25, to the 20, down to the 19-yard line. 13 more for James Engel. He's got 34 yards on 3 carries here to start the second half.
Well blocked again for the Crimson, and Engel, he has a good knack for making the cuts at the right time too. I mean, he really turns and plants and goes, but he also reads things pretty well in front of him.
11 carries, 81 yards. You get the call again here. A little stiff arm to the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal for the Crimson. He's down to the 7. Picks up another 12.
Got good momentum going right now. You can just feel that Engel and the O-line are in a good rhythm. Yeah, a little bit on the mask there, but they didn't spot that.
First and goal, Maple Grove at the 7-yard line of Lakeville South. First down run is Engel, pops it outside and gets spun down at the 3-yard line. Nice tackle there by Nick Leland. Stop Engel short of the end zone, but he does get 5 yards to the 2.
Yeah, I thought he looked like he might go in there, but even so, like you said, it's still a good run there for the Crimson. And for a team that, felt like the first half didn't go especially well, they're still right there in range.
Braylon Coleman, the big lineman, comes in as the fullback here in front of Engel. Second and goal from the 2. Toss back, Engel gets his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Very workmanlike drive to start the second half for Maple Grove's offense, and they respond with a score.
Well, we've kind of been talking about how Maple Grove's defense, being knocked back and giving up a lot. The Cougars' defense got to be feeling that way a little bit too. It's come seemingly relatively easy in most of these drives for Maple Grove as well.
They're going to go for 2 here, Jay, to try to make up for that missed extra point at the end of the first half. Coleman again in front of Engel. Ball at the 3-yard line. Now they'll shift out of that. Harney back the shotgun, and Engel moves out to the left.
I like Harney to run here.
And he will. He's in toward the goal line. I don't know that he made it, though. Looks like he's short. And we're going to stay at 21-19. So big stop for Lakeville South there. Harney comes up just short. And the Cougars continue to lead.
Another look, here's the touchdown. This one well blocked. Easy touchdown for Engel, but then a good job defensively here. I thought this was actually a pretty good call, but not able to get enough of a surge to get him there. He got about to the half-yard line and then was stood up.
Big play by the Cougars. They hold the lead here. And now, Jay, too, Lakeville South goes, if they go down and if they're able to get another touchdown, now you're up, assuming they make a point, then they're up 2 scores. They can go up by 9 with, they put 7 on the board here.
I like the call to go for 2 there, though.
Yes. Yeah, you always worry, like, the downside is you're kind of chasing points all night, right? But I think the way their offense was going, it was the right call, but well defended by the Cougars. Then Poland here on the kickoff for Maple Grove, and this will bounce into the end zone. Lakeville South will have their worst starting position of the night, 1st and 10 from their 20-yard line.
I'm going to be interested to see what Maple Grove changes that they may come in the second half. Fair to say that just sticking with what they did in the first is not going to get it done.
Again, no passes attempted by Lakeville South. Last week against Mount View, or the first half here tonight. 36 plays run from scrimmage, all on the ground. First down run, Swanson, or the same, picks up 5 on the first play for them in the second half. He's got 73 yards now on 15 carries. Dean with 14 carries for 130 and 3 scores.
Again, Swanson, and even in short little space like that, does a good job of not being his momentum being stopped entirely. He's hit and he kind of turns and he can spin sometimes, and sometimes you think in the middle like that you don't want to do that, but he does a nice job of kind of sliding off tackles enough to get some more yards.
And off to Swanson, stutter step, then coming back inside. Raymond grabbing him from behind and gets help from his teammates, but he still gets enough to the first down. Got to the 30-yard line, 1st and 10 for Lakeville South. The Crimson fans on our side right in front of the press box didn't like the spot on that run.
At first glance, I kind of agree with them. It looked like he was stopped more like maybe the 29 and a half, and they gave him all the way to the 30 there. I didn't think he quite got that either, but well officiated game tonight, I think.
From the 30-yard line. And trying to get outside, and this time driven back is Dean, thrown all the way back.
Interesting where they spot this one. He'll get a gain of about a yard, it looks like, maybe 2, as obviously got pushed back a bit. I thought there was a possibility that they were going to say that, he on his own tried to break free, but they do give him forward progress to the 32.
It's Logan Allbeck here, driving back. Well, he gave him generous forward progress to the 32. The flag comes out late. So sideline warning on Lakeville South.
I think they were getting in the official's ear a little bit, and instead of throwing it unsportsmanlike, they're going to say, all right, stay on the sideline, and we'll, I think that's not a bad way of kind of letting them know that, all right, we heard enough.
Right, I think they were a little unhappy about how far Allbeck took the runner back. Swanson on second down picks up 9 yards and a first down for Lakeville South. They go out to the 41, 9 yards for Nick Swanson. 17th rushing first down for Lakeville South tonight.
Another nice job here on the pull, and Griffin Dean getting an excellent block there as well. That's the other part. We haven't really talked about that part. As halfbacks in this offense, you better be able to block too, and then that we saw it from the fullback, actually, Dean right there.
From the 41. 2 first downs already for Lakeville South on their first drive here. This is the quarterback Stewart keeping, and Raymond along with Thien helping to wrap them up. Still going. Maple Grove say they have the football. They didn't blow the whistle. Maybe I shouldn't say the whistle didn't blow. I didn't hear the whistle, but maybe it did. They're going to mark him with the football still in the gain of 2.
You see he's got him wrapped up. They're ripping at it. And yeah, I would say
we stopped. Yeah. 2nd down and 8. Handoff, and not much doing up the middle here, but still getting it out to the 46. Couple yard gain there for Lakeville South.
Game getting even more physical right now, and both sides getting fired up.
And Swanson a little slow to get up there. Still picked up again, Jay. It didn't look like there's much there, and at the end of the day, he's got 4 or 5 yards on it. 3rd down and 4 here for Lakeville South. Feels like a big play already, right, in the 3rd quarter. Maple Grove can make a stop, which they haven't been able to do on South tonight on crucial plays. And, getting through was Dean, and he's got a first down. Boy, they had him by the ankle, but that was it in the backfield for a loss. And instead, Griffin Dean, who's been outstanding tonight, is able to pick up 9 yards to the 45 of Maple Grove.
Boy, normally when you get a guy to completely stop, it's going to be hard to get it, but they stayed with the blocks enough. And Dean, great vision, great patience right there, because, it looked like he might get dragged down by the ankle in the backfield.
From the 45 of Maple Grove. Again, clock continuing to run as it has in this game tonight, as Lakeville South able to control the ball, run that clock off, and all they do is run, and Swanson picks up 5 more yards here.
So another example there, too, of Stewart using count there to make sure that Maple Grove, if they're going to be coming really hard with linebackers, and he wants to keep them guessing a little bit on when they're going to snap the ball. And I think he's done a good job of that in their line, with the one exception very late in the first half. They've done a good job of coming off the ball at the same time being clean.
Gavin Stewart, handoff, Dean, big hole up the middle, breaks a tackle, going toward the end zone, and is in for a touchdown.
Well, we've seen this movie before, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's similar to the other couple of touchdowns he had in the first half. And then I really kind of thought that they were going to be able to catch him there, as Verbout looked like he was at least maybe going to be able to keep it from going all the way, but he couldn't quite catch him.
4th rushing touchdown of the night for the Lakeville South junior, Griffin Dean. Wheeler for the extra point. Up and through, and it's 28-19. Lakeville South.
Another look as they're able to pop him through with the trap. Possibly a slight hook there in the middle, but able to get on through. And again, the secondary for Maple Grove caught off guard and unable to make the stop there, too, was Elmquist. He had a decent chance at him, and then Dean just able to outrun him to the end zone. And they have continued to excel.
Dean averaging over 8 yards per carry coming in, had 9 rushing touchdowns. He's added 4 more to that tonight.
And this is the guy that's the fullback, basically running the ball straight ahead from 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That's a high average for the type of plays that he's been given.
Thompson and Engel back on this kick return. Engel doesn't return a lot, and it's going to be Thompson rushing up and picking it up at the 15. And he'll get out to about the 30-yard line before he's brought down. Maple Grove continuing to need to match scores for Lakeville South, Jay. It feels like they need to score in every possession to stay in this, even though it's only a 9-point game. But you look at the clock, it's at 4:11, and you know Lakeville South, the way it's gone tonight, is going to run off 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes when they have a possession.
Again, Crimson offensively, though, have been solid. I don't think they feel any reason to think that they won't go down and score. But you're right. It isn't, you don't have that much margin for error. These 12-minute quarters can go by quick with a running team.
Arnie throws back to the middle. Nothing doing. Lakeville South stayed home, and they get the tackle for loss on Engel.
Fair to say they read that one pretty well. I wonder if that may be something that they've seen on film from Maple Grove, because they certainly appeared to expect that.
Big play for Josh Bergen. Caleb Williams also there. And a loss on the play of 7 yards.
Yeah, there just wasn't much Engel could do. This one was so well defended. You almost, in hindsight, feel like Harney maybe should have thrown that ball away, but obviously you're not thinking that way. You're trying to give Engel a chance to make a play.
Harney roll out, going deep down the field here, trying to get it to Knutson, and incomplete. Well covered downfield. Aiden Connolly there, along with Darian Graham, and it's 3rd and long.
Yeah, he did a good job, too, of just being in his way. I like the no call there. I mean, they've kind of bumped each other a little bit, but it wasn't, anything that was more than incidental contact. I thought he has a right to that space as well. Not a bad idea there to see if you could catch them off guard, but pretty good discipline in the secondary for the Cougars.
3rd and very long for Maple Grove. Another next big play in this game, it feels like. Harney drops it. Will throw it back to Engel, trying to cut it back inside, and he's stopped for no gain.
Not
Carter
exactly
Meyer.
the call I was looking for on that one, but
Diego Newts on the stop, and Maple Grove will have to kick it away.
he actually hit the ball on the elbow of the fullback there, and then by that point it was just try to get what you can.
4th and 19, Knutson's second punt of the day. Pretty good kick, and it'll take a Maple Grove bounce, and this will go all the way down inside the 15-yard line to the 14. So they really flipped the field there. 29, a 55-yard kick, 65 yards, and no return. You can't do much better than that for high school football, right?
Yeah, Max Zagorski coming over there, and I feel like he made the right decision not to field that one, but I'm sure he was thinking it was going to go out of bounds. And instead it takes not only a good bounce for Maple Grove, but a good bounce to stay in bounds as well. And, at this point in the game, you kind of hate to punt, but it was so long to go, and you're so far back in your own end that you pretty much had to. And it turns out to be a great result for the Crimson, all things considered.
Still needing a stop on defense. Lakeville South's been outstanding tonight on offense. 20.8 points on the board. Leading by 9 here late in the 3rd quarter. And off, Swanson breaks a tackle at the point of attack, goes forward. It stood up, and they'll stop him after a gain of about 4. Got to the 18, 2nd down and 6 coming.
Again, there was a little bit of a hole there. They were able to stop his momentum quickly, and it looks like we have an injured Lakeville South player down. Anaya looks like is down. Gonna hobble off.
They'll get him out, and it'll be a 2nd down and 6 coming here for the Cougars. .207 to go, and now start the clock again in the 3rd quarter. Lakeville South up by 9. They have 7 points on the board this quarter. Maple Grove 6. to enter to center. We'll hand off. Out past the 20-25, lunging to the 27-yard line. There's Dean, the man of the hour tonight. And another great run for Griffin. Dean picks up 9 yards.
And a good job of staying behind his blockers. It didn't really look like much was there, and he stayed really low to the ground, almost to the point where he was falling forward there, but kept his balance enough to pick up that first down, and that was big. I mean, anytime you're kind of pinned back by a punch, you want to at least get a first down or two.
18 carries, 190 yards, Jay, and 4 touchdowns for Dean. From the 27. Late give, and there he goes again in the open.
Go, go, go!
And he's going to go. Williams can catch him. He can't. 73 yards.
Well, Griffin Dean, besides hitting the hole hard, is faster than you maybe realize. He outran the secondary there in a play where it looked like they had a shot at him.
As you can probably tell on the broadcast, we're in the booth with the Lakeville South coaches, and I hear them say it's a school record rushing touchdowns in a game. Dean was his 5th tonight.
Well, and it kind of goes back to one of the last things that Adam Sproul said to us is, we know they're going to get 4 and 5 yards, but it can't turn into 70 or 80. They have been gashed big time tonight, primarily by Dean. And, obviously we've seen some good runs from Swanson as well, but the big ones have been the fullback. Another look at that little counter look again, a great kick-out block again. The timing and the angles on these blocks as they were able to come up and erase Elmquist from the equation there. And then when he got 10 yards downfield, I still thought they had a decent chance to get him there, but Dean just outran everyone. And that's where we talked about the deeper you get into the playoffs, you're going up against teams that have really good athletes too. And some little mistakes become big mistakes against a good team like this.
Well, officially now 19 carries, 263 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Is that all?
That's a good season for some guys to get 260 yards from scrimmage. Wow. 106 to go, and now a 16-point lead for Lakeville South. Short kick, and it's going to be grabbed by Thompson at about the 20, fell down, and falls down short of the 30-yard line. Now it's time really starting to become a factor, Jay. When you're down this much, you haven't made a stop on your opponent tonight from Maple Grove, and you got 2 scores, 2 extra 2-point conversions from tying it, and that's assuming you can get a stop on defense.
Yeah, let's just say things need to go pretty efficiently for them to have a chance.
Here we go, Maple Grove from their 30. And off Engel inside. Lakeville South will take that. Positive yardage, but only about 3 yards, and then clock keeps running.
Bergen did a good job of getting off his block there and wrapping him up. Yeah, Engel has the capability of popping some long ones too, but they've done a pretty solid job overall against him of not letting him get really loose. I mean, he's had a good game though, as have the Crimson overall offensively, but will it be enough?
Yep, 2nd down and 7. Down to 30 seconds to play here in the 3rd quarter. Arnie wanting the throw. Pump fakes, throws for Knutson, and too far wide and incomplete. Again, good coverage, even if that had been on target. Darian Graham was right there.
Boy, that shoulder fake did not fool them at all. They've been very disciplined in the secondary. And Maple Grove, nothing wrong with that try, but you start to think maybe to a certain extent they're feeling the pressure to get things back quickly.
Yeah.
They're throwing a few, throws that were kind of low percentage, long attempts. And again, nothing wrong with that. They've still been efficient overall, but
3rd and 7. Thompson, top of your screen, 2 receivers to the right. Looks like Knutson moved early. Yep. That'll be 5 yards on Maple Grove. And bring up 3rd and 12.
Just over-eager to get going downfield. And he's far enough away that he may not be able to hear Harney that well either. I'm kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt there.
Third down and 12. Maple Grove now backed up inside their 30. Thompson coming in motion. Harney, a lot of time to throw. Surveying it, now throws and overthrew Engel a little bit, and that would have been a first down, but instead an incompletion, 4th down for Maple Grove.
They were looking for a middle screen to Engel, I think, which was very well covered. However, as Harney was able to scramble and get away, Engel was pretty open on that. I know Harney would like to have that throw to do over again, because that should have been a completion for a decent gainer there if Engel had been able to turn and get upfield, even though what was originally intended wasn't really there.
I think this is 4th and 2 they go for, but 4th and 12 inside your 30. I mean, you can't do that. It's caught on a bounce and then well defended by Maple Grove, and they'll get Lakeville South down. Max Zagorski on the return, and they lost a little bit. They'll have it first down and 10 at their 25 as the third quarter comes to an end. Lakeville South trying to knock off number 1 Maple Grove. It's 35-19. Cougars lead the Crimson after 3. More football after this.
For 90 years, Connection has been at the heart of everything they do at Topline Financial Credit Union. Their team is passionate about connecting with you to help you reach your financial dreams. For some, they're here for your first, like your first checking account, first car, or first home. For others, they're here for those next steps, whether it's remodeling your home, saving for retirement, or starting a small business. Become a Topline member and let them be a part of your big moments. Visit toplinecu.com, because connected, we all do better. Federally insured with the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Nick Swanson gets the first carry of the fourth quarter and picks up 3, close to 4 yards. Lakeville South starting this drive from their 25-yard line. They pick up 3. You know, if it's a team ahead that runs a mix of running and passing, you say, well, they're going to keep the ball on the ground here. They chew up our clock. Lakeville South has done that all night, and they do that every game, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty fair bet.
Right. 2nd down and 7. Grove needs a turnover to really have a shot, it feels like, at this point. Swanson got both arms wrapped around, and he's into the secondary.
Go!
Swanson to the 30, and he's going to go for a touchdown, 72 yards.
Well, you're thinking that they're maybe going to try to run out the clock, and instead end up just popping another one. Wow, they have just gashed Maple Grove all night long. This time it was Swanson. Most of the earlier times it's been Griffin Dean. And Lakeville South is ecstatic right now, and with good reason.
Swanson in the second half, Jay, has 107 yards rushing. And Lakeville South with Dean is another 133. They have rushed for close to 500 yards tonight. Not quite, but well over 400. Extra point. Up and through. It is all Lakeville South. 42-19. Nick Swanson gets into the end zone for his team high 17th touchdown of the season. Look at it again.
Another look. Power lead there, and he's able to squirt through, and again showing speed. It looked like there was a chance he would be caught here, and a good effort to try and get back to him by Allbeck, but able to run through that tackle on the legs, and my goodness, Maple Grove has just not been able to slow the Cougars much at all here this evening.
Lakeville South on the verge of getting to the state semifinals. They were there in 2022, lost to Maple Grove in the state semis that year, and won the championship in 21, beating Maple Grove in the Prep Bowl that year. Missed the playoffs last year and trying to get to the Final Four again here in 2025, and well on their way. Moorhead awaiting them, the winner of this game next Friday night. Short and then a pooch kick finally picked up by Thompson at the 22, and he'll get about 4 yards to the 26.
Yeah, this wasn't like a we want to recover this.
Right.
It was more just don't let them get any kind of real big return.
11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and perhaps the season here for the unbeaten Crimson. Peyton Harney headed to South Dakota State next year on a football scholarship. Needs a big comeback here. Not only do they need to score, Jay, they need to score in a hurry, I feel like, right? Harney wanting to throw on first down. Still with time, and he's not. He gets back to the line of scrimmage before Lakeville South rolls him down after a gain of 3.
Yeah, and you can kind of hear, as you said, we're up here with the coaches from South, and they, make sure you keep everything in front of you right now.
Yeah.
You don't want to give up a really quick, easy one.
Look at it again, good coverage. Harney, he was looking out that way, and then Lakeville South, we talked so much about their offense tonight. Their defense coming up with some big plays here in the second half. Gave up a touchdown on that opening drive, but they've been solid since then.
Yeah, and they've been physical tonight, too. They hit.
Harney on 2nd and 7. Throws, gets the completion. Thompson a first down, and gets out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and I think Maple Grove, again, you said urgency time-wise, and that's very true, but you still want to stick with what, plays like that. You've got time to do things like that. As long as you're efficient, you don't want to get totally out of what you normally do as a team. Because if you're going to, get back in it, you got to do it one at a time. You can't, you don't have a 20-point play in your book.
1st and 10 from the 40. Harney throwing to the sideline. Thompson again. Picks up an even 10 on the first down.
Right at midfield here, so Maple Grove eating it up in chunks. And, again, still time where you have to think that way anyway, even if it might be a tall order. You got to take things one at a time.
Thompson, his team-high 4th catch of the night. Ball at midfield. Harney, throw again, incomplete. Had a guy over the middle, and Nordvold unable to come up with a catch. They've had a couple of drops tonight, Jay.
Yeah, that one looked like a well-thrown ball. I don't know if there's a possibility that a defender kind of got in his line of vision, or I think it was really just more of a plain drop. He's kind of looking where he's going to go after the catch, but didn't squeeze it.
Second down and 10. Harney. Wanted to give it to Angle. The ball is out and recovered by Lakeville South. They ran a similar play like that last week for a touchdown. And they get the fumble recovery. Lakeville South, A.J. Gillo coming up with the football. That might do it. Demo with the recovery. Look at it again.
See, they just didn't quite execute that one, trying to tuck it in there.
And then they was right there
him.
anyway,
Yeah.
right? They would have been able to stop that. Demo, Josh Bergen again, good.
Well, you mentioned that we saw that last week from them, and obviously the Cougars have access to seeing that too.
Right.
Boy, this
play
has
by
been
Demo, and wow.
been a pretty perfect night for the Cougars, considering the opponent especially. Right. How well Maple Grove has done, not only this year, but last couple.
Swanson will pick up 5 yards.
Well, and the other thing we haven't talked about too with this offense is that with such a tight formation, they're not going out of bounds very often either. So you continue to use clock, but they're using the area between the hashes so well and blocking so well that they're not been strung out and forced wide virtually ever this evening.
My unofficial count, Jay, 477 yards rushing tonight for Lakeville South. 2nd down and 5 from the 40. And again, that clock continuing to run. 9-10 and counting in the 4th. This is Dean. Won't get a first down, picks up 3 yards. But again, you can see both of those running backs both hands around the football. That's not coming out.
Stewart doing a good job of using most of the play clock there too, and if your quarterback presents a calm front and that kind of thing, then it's not a concern that you're getting it down under 5.
Yeah, he's the guy in charge, Gavin Stewart, and he's played a really strong game tonight. Doesn't run the ball a lot. 7 carries tonight for 25 yards, but getting those handoffs clean and getting his guys in the right spot. 3rd and 2 here. Hand off and trying to get outside, and they do. The first down to the 25-yard line. Levy with the first down. Goes out of bounds at the 25, but it's another Cougars first down. Nice job, just up a dozen yards. The only negative, he went out of bounds, stopped the clock with 8:18 to go, but
yeah, you can't have everything.
You're right. From the 25, up the middle, gain 4, maybe 5 yards again.
That was basically just a quarterback sneak.
Yes.
Stewart just going forward. I think they're giving Swanson a little bit of a breather here, and got Pierce McKenzie in there at that other halfback spot now.
2nd down and 4 from the 21. How about that line tonight, Jay? We mentioned a couple of times they've just done outstanding work here for the Cougars. And off trying to bounce outside to Dean, and he does. To the 15-yard line, to the 10, still on his feet, going for touchdown number 6. No, knocked out of bounds at the 2. He's like, well, I was the end. They mark him down just outside the 1-yard line.
Well, I just was saying earlier how they haven't bounced much outside. That time a good decision as it turned out by Dean, and then he made a strong cut. Again, he's hard to bring down, and he almost got there. It didn't look like another look is right there. The kick out kind of knocks him, and little stutter step, little stiff arm, pushes past one. I'm not so sure he wasn't in.
Yeah, I think that was in. Let's see if he gets the call again for that 6th touchdown. They're going to give it to him. Looks like he's in. Oh, yes. Touchdown. Number 6 of the day for Griffin Dean.
Wow, this has been a clinic here offensively for the Cougars tonight. They have done such a good job of varying things up, but then just being able to get the tough short yards when they need as well. And it's been a tough one for the Crimson.
Their 7th rushing touchdown of the night. Extra point, up, and we get flagged down. It's like a false start.
Looks like it might be against Maple Grove.
Yep, you're right.
They're going to go ahead and still kick it.
Wheeler for the extra point. Try again. Out of the hold of Stewart.
Flag.
Up and through. 49-19.
You knew the ball was going to go to Dean here on this one, and he's able to just kind of walk in, reach it over after just barely missing out on getting in on the previous play. What a night it has been for him. We talked in the pregame about Swanson, and he's had a pretty good game too, but boy, Griffin Dean has been the story offensively here for the Cougars, and along with that O-line though, gosh, they have done such a great job tonight.
You pick out a key player and you'd say, well, we picked the right guy for Lakeville South, right? 23 carries, 180 yards and a touchdown. No, his backfield mate's got 6 touchdowns and 289 yards on 22 carries. It's crazy. They've just gashed Maple Grove tonight. So Crimson come back, Jay, on that opening drive of the third quarter. They answer, they get a touchdown, but then since then it's just been all Lakeville South on both sides of the ball. They've just been dominant. Return here will be out to about the 38-yard line for Maple Grove. First down for Maple Grove from there on the return by Peyton Hansegard.
I don't think Maple Grove would have come into tonight thinking that they were going to be seeing this kind of margin, and boy, it's got to be a tough thing. You get this deep into the playoffs, and you've had such a strong year, and now trying to keep calm and still see if they can chip away. But
from the 38, Arnie rolls, almost intercepted. Pass intended for Thompson. Zagorski stepped in front of it and right through his hands.
Boy, he read that one perfectly and just couldn't quite squeeze it. Had to reach up quite a bit for it, but still, he had a great read on this one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I had that. Second down and 10. 7:08 to go. Arnie. Well, and it goes to the little dump-off pass to Engel and gets out to the 45, 46-yard line. Gain of 8. Artemeyer on the tackle. Harney making something out of that play.
Boy, that was a deceptive little throw. He kind of just flipped it. And I'm surprised in a way that Lakeville South wasn't fooled more by that.
Right. Third down and 2 now. Under 7 minutes to play. Arnie roll out right. Flag is down. Completion. Nordvold to the 40 down to the 38-yard line of Lakeville South.
See what this penalty is going to be here. Looks like it could be a hold, perhaps, based on where it was thrown. No, illegal formation.
The flag kind of came out late, though, for that call, right? I mean, they didn't see it fly for a while.
Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing, but.
Back up Maple Grove 5, third down and 7.
Yeah, normally if there's an illegal formation, you'll see that flag come out instantly. And, there's a possibility that he just had trouble getting it out of his pocket or something, too.
It's a little cold out there.
Yes.
Third down and 7 for Maple Grove from their 41. Arnie, you got to spin away from pressure. Stepping up to the 35, gets out to the 40-yard line and gets out of bounds to the 41. There's another flag down. Back to the line of scrimmage, but this may cost Maple Grove another 10. Oh no, face mask. Only the third penalty of the night on Lakeville South.
Newts will be called for this penalty, and I don't think it was against Harney. I think it's elsewhere away as he's trying to get away from a block because the flag came out on the other side of the field.
Yeah, it's not there. It's definitely away from the football. So first down to 10 Maple Grove from the Lakeville South 45. Harney under pressure again, steps away. He's going to run to the 40-yard line and gets 7 yards down to the 38-yard line. Second down and 3. Clock continues to run, under 6 minutes to go.
Showed his elusiveness there, and getting that much out of that one looked like he was going to be dropped around the line of scrimmage.
Second down and short for Maple Grove. Harney has time to throw again. The coverage good downfield. He waits, throws a little bit high and incomplete, intended for Thompson. It'll be third down.
Obviously, Cougars playing a lot of conservative defense there to try and keep things in front of them, make Maple Grove take some time, and Harney able to slip out and get an opportunity at a completion there, but they couldn't quite get it.
But Josh Bergen has been back there a lot tonight, 51 for Lakeville South, making Harney uncomfortable on some of these pass plays. Third down, short to go. Harney, quick throw. Thompson, first down, the 30-yard line.
Looked like a face mask, but I don't think they called it.
Thompson's 5th catch tonight. Down to the 31-yard line. First and 10 Maple Grove. The 5:20 to play. It's exclusively passing now for Maple Grove. Harney throws and gets the completion inside the 20 to Knutson and picks up 12 yards.
Good throw and an even better catch there for Knutson, going down and pulling that one up off the turf.
First down and 10, ball at the 18 of Lakeville South. Harney, time to throw toward the end zone, and Knutson, the intended receiver, kind of got tangled up there with Zagorski. It's incomplete. Second and 10.
Second and 10.
.455 to go. Maple Grove winners of 23 straight games. Lakeville South is going to put an end to that tonight. Harney again with time. Has to step up. Nobody open downfield. Will run it, and will get him out to the 13-yard line before he's pushed back. Gain of 6 yards. Third down and 4.
Grinke on the stop there. Harney, you know he wants to make a play, but I kind of question there. It's more important to make sure you don't give that ball up and risk, the turnover there. It wasn't going to get many more yards at that point anyway.
On third down, Harney again with time to throw. Stepping up, he's open. Now he's going to run it. It's got a first down, and now he's got a touchdown. It's 11th rushing touchdown of the season. It'll come, looks like too little too late, but Harney in for the score.
Well, he certainly hasn't given up there.
No.
That was a nice run.
Yep. 9:25. Crimson will go for 2 here. Harney's winded here. Eagle will come in with the play from the sideline. Ball's back to Engel, trying to get outside, and he slowed down and stopped. Great penetration getting into the backfield by Grant Mayer. Finished off by Newts and friends, and the 2-point try fails.
Yeah, Mayer won't get the stop there, but he certainly forced that by keeping the edge there and making Ingle cut back. Here's another look at this long scramble here. Stepped up, made a nice move right there, and then they just ran out of defenders. They were all spread out by that point, and able to get in was Harney for the touchdown. As you mentioned, he's tired.
And then the reality sets in, right? If you're Caden Harney or any of these Maple Grove guys, yeah, you haven't given up. You got an onside kick try, but man, you're still down 24 points with 4:13 to go. It's the bottom line.
Got to keep trying though, and
yeah.
onside kick attempt here.
The Maple Grove Miracle, 19 points in a minute against STMA 8 years ago. Poland on the kickoff here. 10 guys up for Lakeville South within 10 yards of the football. So the kick's got to go 10 yards before Maple Grove can touch it. And Lakeville South does cover as Dean gets on the ball. Of course, who else tonight, right? That guy has been something else. 49-yard line for Lakeville South. 4:13 to go. It's 49-25. And that should do it. Lakeville South has not been stopped on offense tonight, Jay. Every drive they've had has ended in 7 points. .413 to play here in the fourth quarter.
New quarterback for the Cougars.
Drake Fritz will come in, the senior. Spun around and gaining only a yard there was Levy. It's maybe 2 yards to the 49 of Maple Grove, 2nd down and 8.
Dean and Swanson also out of there, so they obviously feel this lead is secure enough.
Rest up those guys for next week. Yeah, and as long as you don't turn the ball over here, right? This will work. And again, running that play clock down, I'm sure, in every play. Fritz up under center. Got the play clock down to about 3 before handing off. Maple Grove defense able to make a stop there. And there'll be no gain, maybe even a loss on the play. But hanging on to the football there, C.J. York. He lost 2. It's 3rd down and 10 to go. Adam Spurl, this will be the first loss in his career as a head coach. Was an assistant, of course, for so many years under Matt Lombardi. 23-0 to start his career as the head coach. And now just 3 minutes to go in the Crimson season. 3rd down and 10 here for South. And Levy gets the carry, gets maybe a yard. But that's almost secondary for Lakeville South. They're able to run the clock here. Maple Grove not taking timeouts. It'll be 4th down and 9. It'll be the first punt of the night for the Cougars. Nice for those Lakeville South guys to get a little time in, though, on the field here late in the game.
Hey, only have 10. Who's the punt protector? Where's Miles?
He's on the sideline. He's waiting to go out there.
Cougars are going to use a timeout. I don't think they had 11 out there, but wanting to use as much clock as they could on that one, as well as they get set to punt for the very first time, as John said.
Trevor LeBaron is their punter. Look at the 6A brackets, this quadrant of it anyway. Lakeville South and Maple Grove, there's the score, and so Lakeville South with the win here is going to move into the state semifinals next Friday night at U.S. Bank Stadium. against Moorhead. Look at the scores there. Eden Prairie 9 and a tight one at Osseo. That was also a 6 o'clock start, so that one's got to be about over. Tonka and STMA didn't start till 7, and Minnetonka, who beat STMA rather handily in the regular season, up big on them here in the first half or maybe halftime of that game. Now, LeBaron will kick this one away from midfield. Clean snap, and that's all you want there, right? Kicks it away. 30-yard kick will be handled and fumbled, and Maple Grove will get back on it. Back at the 19-yard line. Fumble recovered. Ben Williams, and 1:49 to go. Williams bounced high off him, and TJ Williams fumbled. Ben Williams recovers. So from the 19-yard line is where Maple Grove will start here. Harney still back out there with that first offense. Let him close out his career on the field. Is going to run it out past the 30 and gets out to the 33. And then the pitch at the last second, and taking it, trailing him, was Engel, and he brings it out past the 50.
A little creativity there, as maybe in a different situation you'd be thinking don't do that, but I think it wasn't a bad idea at this point. It's a good run, and then he knew Engel was there on the right side, and it's a good pitch. Back to live action, first down throw, and Harney's pass intended for Knutson comes up incomplete. Again, Maple Grove with the score in that first drive in this half and then on the most recent drive, but it's been a good defensive effort overall for Lakeville South here in the second half, and obviously their offense has just rolled downhill all night. 1:31 to go, 2nd and 10 for the Crimson from the 47 of the Cougars. Timeout, Lakeville South. They got some backups in there on defense. Make sure everybody's on the right page here. A lot of first-liners actually still out there now. They look at the numbers for Lakeville South. I suppose they figure as long as Maple Grove's first-team offense is out there, and want to close it out here with 90 seconds left. Good senior class that'll graduate here for Maple Grove. Guys that played last year, won state championship, certainly had the goal and thought it was realistic to win it again here in 2025, but coming up short here tonight against a Lakeville South team has been outstanding. Yeah, they executed about as well as they could have hoped for coming in. I mean, they just did everything the way they wanted to offensively, getting off the ball, and like you mentioned, even the plays that didn't seem like much were 4-yard gains rather than being stopped. I mean, they just very mistake-free football as well. They weren't putting the ball on the turf. They weren't committing a lot of penalties.
The first team offense, I only had one rushing player there that went for a negative yardage throw. Harney to Knutson, and Knutson's down to the 25-yard line. He'll pick up 22 yards there, his third catch tonight. Harney and Knutson, two guys we'll see this winter for, should be a very good Maple Grove boys basketball team on the court. Quick throw this time, or short throw rather, to Engel. Spins out of a would-be tackle. Still on his feet and gets down to the 10-yard line, all the way down to the 9 and picks up 16.
Continuing with good effort there as he's able to shake out of a couple of tackles. Lakeville South using another timeout here.
First down at the 9-yard line of Lakeville South. What a season though for Maple Grove football. Jay, they're going to finish 10-1, 23-1 over the last 2 years, and a good legacy for these seniors who are playing their final game tonight for Maple Grove. They're leaving behind.
Yeah, it's been quite a run. I mean, there was a time when they were getting to be one of the better programs, and then they got over the hump and became certainly gold standard. But it really shows that nothing's automatic. There's some good programs in the top of 6A. It's not easy to get there, and we've seen a few, Moorhead being there in their first year. It wasn't expected by a lot of people, and
good for the Spuds, moving up from 5A to 6A, and they're in the Final Four now. Harney on first and goal, lofting to the end zone. Knutson can't come up with the catch.
Great throw there. Almost snuck that one in. Knutson looked like he had his hands on it, but just couldn't quite bring it in.
Look at it again. The coverage has been pretty good for Lakeville South tonight, too. I mean, they've been right there. Darian Graham on the coverage. Dinah, we're told, is upset Eden Prairie. Oh, that was off the hands of Knutson, incomplete. 3rd and goal coming with 1:01 to go.
Knutson might be experiencing a cramp there, it seemed. It's going to stay in.
Third and goal from the 9. 61 seconds to go in the game. Harney hesitates. Spin back to his right. He's in trouble. Lost it to the end zone and almost intercepted. Or he should have been intercepted. Knutson, the intended receiver, and then coming up with a cramp or something. Darian Graham really in some pain now, grabbing back of his left calf. Boy, and you hope that's nothing more than a cramp, and then he'll be able to go next Friday.
Looks like it must be a cramp.
Yeah.
And I was saying right before that it looked like Knutson was kind of feeling that a little bit on the previous play. Yeah, it looked like he was about to catch this ball, and then he immediately went down in pain.
Yep. Oh, yeah, right. So one play left for Maple Grove on offense, regardless of what happens here, touchdown or an incompletion. Is there now Knutson, as you mentioned, then it's down and still down. He's going to have to come out.
And neither player is off the field enough that they can resume play here, especially Knutson. He's actually still in bounds.
Lakeville South getting the they saw enough on tape that they thought they could do well and execute on offense, offensively especially. And they worked it to a T, right? Well blocked. The running game was outstanding.
You normally associate this with the those first games late August, but even in the cold, you obviously still see cramps. Both guys experiencing the same deal.
Here, Joel.
Knutson is back up. Graham is still down.
I gave it to you. Yeah, I did. I gave it to Joel. I gotta get Lance's. I know. But he's taking some.
Still in use. You can't take mine. He's gonna walk from.
Graham's up enough to get him to the sideline here as he'll be able to resume. And boy, I tell you, I wouldn't have ever expected one way or the other that this game was going to be kind of in this spot where you, you know, just thinking
just playing it out.
Yeah.
Yep. There we go. 4th down and goal from the 9 for Maple Grove. Toss to Engel's, going to throw it back to Harney. Catches it and into the end zone for the touchdown. A little trick play to end it for Maple Grove's offense, and that's the way they'll go out here.
Even though it worked well, Lakeville South really had a chance to stop Harney at the 1, but they didn't wrap him up, and he's a pretty big, tough quarterback and able to shrug off that tackle.
It's at 49-31.
Had a flag at the end of the play here.
Yep. Oh. Engel and an assistant coach for Lakeville South get unsportsmanlike on that. No offset. I don't know what was said that coach gets flagged. Engel must have celebrated or taunted after the touchdown, perhaps. A touchdown pass. Engel, what a season he had, Jay. We talked about it earlier, but touchdown tonight, adding to his total 2 more, 27 rushing touchdowns. School record for 1 season. I'll go for 2 here. Harney rolling back to the left. Still with it. Still behind the line of scrimmage, and he'll go down at the 4-yard line. As you do the math, theoretically, Maple Grove would have been only down 2 scorers at 2 onside kicks, but that definitely ends it now. 18. Here's a look at the touchdown pass again. Engel to Harney. And Harney breaking a tackle and getting into the end zone.
You know, Coach Dean, he holds me to a high standard.
Final from Osseo, Edina 23, Prairie 21.
Edina takes out Eden Prairie tonight.
It wasn't that long ago that you would not have seen that result between those 2 programs, but Edina's done a really good job of becoming a pretty elite level football team. Obviously, they've had a lot of good sports throughout the years and various things, but in more recent years, football wasn't necessarily one of them, and that where you'd say they were a legit competitor, but obviously they are now.
Yeah. After the Prep Bowl a couple of years ago, lost a close game to Centennial. Lost to Maple Grove last year in the state quarterfinals. And recovered by Maple Grove at the 29. A little pooch kick, and the Crimson will have the football again. Dozier getting downfield. Braden Dozier is going to play college football next year at North Dakota State. Comes up with the recovery on the onside kick.
An interesting one that they didn't go with the real short dribbler. That was more of a ball dropped in between levels of that kick return group.
Well, I thought that was going to be Maple Grove's last possession of the season, and here they are again with the football at the 28. Harney going to go to the end zone, and it's intercepted. Picked off on this one by Cam Lindsay, and that'll end it.
And I like his teammate there, Mayer, was like, get down. He practically tackled him himself, wanted to make sure.
There's another flag down. Might have been after the play, though. Looks like it's definitely Lakeville South's ball. The emotions coming through for those Maple Grove guys right now. No personal foul on Lakeville South. Back them up inside the 10. Not that that really matters at this point. The interception. Now there's the late hit there. Delivered. Leland.
And it actually ended up injuring one of his own teammates by knocking the Maple Grove player into his legs. Look at that, a little bit underthrown going for Knutson. Well read here by Lindsay, and you see his teammate making sure he gets down. And then that block. I think it looked worse than it was because I don't know if he could tell for sure that his teammate was, giving himself up there.
A kneel down, and that's it for Maple Grove. A shocking end for the #1 team in the state. Not so much that they lost, Jay, but to lose 49-31 to end their year.
Yeah, and in a way, the game doesn't even seem like it was quite that close as they way things developed at the end. Boy, Lakeville South just efficient as heck. They came out with a plan and executed it all night long. As you said, they basically were never stopped when they had their first offensive group in.
Well-coached Ben Burke team gets the win. They move to 9-2 into the state semifinals next Friday against Moorhead at US Bank Stadium at 7:30 p.m. Congratulations to the Cougars. Good luck to them the rest of the season. And congrats again to Maple Grove on a great season. They ended up at 10-1, ending their 2024 season. Thanks again to the Maple Grove Football Boosters for their support, Hotline Credit Union, all of our crew, and for Jay Wilcox, I'm John Jacobson. Final score again tonight from Eastview High School. It's Lakeville South moving on in the 6A playoffs. They beat Maple Grove 49-31 the final. Good night from Apple Valley.